it? That was it?
Yeah. Can you were you able to hear Larry when he said that, or did you not hear him?
I didn't hear, but you know what? Let's just go. The show continues. Welcome to Sanctuary's fan panel, where we talk about uh, anything in the sci-fi genre. Anyway, um, welcome. You're speaking with Phil, Hayden, and Steve. Um, guys, how are you going? Hayden, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. That just made my whole day. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm I'm completely locked down, so we can't go anywhere or do anything
Oh
or
no.
anything.
Oh, did you guys go like back into lockdown?
Yeah, yeah. Wales is completely in lockdown. We can only go out to get food and just food. You can't go and get a toaster or anything like that. You can just only get food.
Wow.
So to make you happy, would you be happy if I bought you a toaster and sent it to you? Or?
No, I don't need the toaster.
Get better soon, Phil.
I just picked on a toaster.
Well, what do you need? We can get you a toaster oven if you want one of those.
No,
You can make some
no.
toaster strudels.
Toaster strudels. That sounds cool.
We can get you one of those toasters that have Bluetooth in it. You know.
Do they have those?
Bluetooth toaster. Awesome.
No, I just thought about it in my head. I don't know if they exist, but
Well, now that's
anyway,
your next money idea.
exactly. No, next entrepreneur. I'm going all right. Been a fun week. I accidentally broke my wife's phone the other day, and I felt bad, so I had to get her the latest iPhone. And then while she's waiting for the new phone, I gave her my phone, and then she opened it, and then she found the anniversary present I was meant to surprise her with. So it's
Oh no!
I know. So I just feel like I don't know, things are going well for Phil at the moment. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, going good. So can't complain. But anyway, I wanted to recap with the last video that we did. We spoke about the X-Men movie. We spoke about Spider-Man, and so I thought that was great. It was fun. You guys seemed to enjoy it. So today we wanted to talk about the Marvel movies, and the Marvel movies have been such a big success in all the in comic books, and even to to the fans when they've been watching the films. And so I know that there was one of the weeks where I did message you guys what your favorite films, and so man, I'm excited to talk about these with you. So let's kick it off with Hayden. So with the film talk, what is your favorite Marvel film, and what did you love about it?
Are we talking MCU or just Marvel?
MCU and Marvel.
All right. So my favorite out of all of them has got to be hands down Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I think that one is the coolest ever. Man, it was so good. I love. I think the thing I love about it. Okay, I thought that Captain America: The First Avenger was good. I didn't think it was great. I felt it was too cartoony for me, and especially for like a war type movie. And so when Winter Soldier came out, I was expecting it to be a lot like that. And to be honest, I haven't really read a lot of the Captain America comic books, so I don't know a whole lot about his lore. And I didn't know the whole like Winter Soldier arc. So when I watched it, first of all, the fight choreography in that movie is insane. Like if you've seen it, you know, like the fight where they're fighting under the bridge and they have the knife and it shows Bucky, he goes to stab, then he drops it, picks it up with the other hand, and he goes to stab Cap, and then he goes into the van and it really cuts the whole van. And dude, so good. But it's like the cool fight scenes that happen, and the way with like the sound design where they make it like so much more serious, but it's still a comic book movie though. Like it, like you get the feel of all of it, and like Bucky, like the Winter Soldier's arm, and like how cool it is when he catches that like the shield, that sweet shot when Captain America throws a shield and catches it. And I also think that's like the technical aspect of it, but I also really like it because I think it's like, not to like over spiritualize everything, but I think it's a good movie that shows it's almost got that prodigal son vibe to it because you have, and I don't think this is a spoiler because it's been out for a while, but basically it's like Captain America's best friend since childhood is basically an evil guy now who's lost and who's literally committed heinous acts, but Captain America is dedicated to getting him back. And I just love it, that ending scene where the captain is literally he literally is spread out like this on the ground, being beat and bloodied, and he's letting Bucky beat him when he could easily overpower Bucky, and he's letting him beat him. And the part where he says, because Bucky's trying to remember him because he half remembers him, half doesn't. And when he's about to hit him one more time, I think he says like, "Oh, you're my mission," and then Captain America, as he's letting him kill him, basically, he says, "Then finish it, because I'm with you to the end of the line." Dude, that part, like, I don't cry a lot, but like, if I was gonna cry at anything, it'd be that. Like, like, it gives me the goosebumps every time. Like, it's like because it's such a good picture, you know. And then from what we know too, as the movies go on, that act of like self-sacrifice caused Bucky to snap out of it, and he even went back in and jumped in and saved Cap's life after he fell in the water. So it's like that movie is just great for so many reasons, but I just nerded out. I'm so sorry, but dude, that is like the jam.
Great lesson, sacrificial love. That's something that you can find in the film. Now, that's awesome, man. The film is absolutely amazing. So now to Steve the Wise. Steve.
Yeah,
well,
I was that wise. I chose a character in a film that aren't part of the new Marvel films.
You can still mention them, and if you want to still choose your favorite MCU movie and all that, yeah, we can still talk about it, man.
Yeah, I remember that well.
Yeah.
Blade was my favorite Marvel film, which loads and loads of people don't even know is a Marvel character.
Yeah.
And I love the Punisher as a character, but in the new Marvel films, I think my favorite character was Vision.
Vision, yeah.
I think that they left him a little short.
Yeah.
I think he could do with a film all of his own, because there's so much that you can do with Vision. And I mean, the guy's capable of basically disassembling his arm, putting it halfway into somebody, wrapping his hand around somebody's heart, and then reassembling his hand and ripping the bloke's heart out. I mean, what can't you do with a guy like that?
I just got a bit scared then.
I know that sounds like something straight out of Indiana Jones, like Kalima, you know.
But I loved that film. For me, in terms of one of the best recent Marvel films, I liked the Thor film, and I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the second Thor film, purely because it had a load of comedy in it. And,
are you thinking Ragnarok?
Ragnarok?
No, the one before.
Ragnarok had a lot of comedy in it. The where they go into space and Jeff Goldblum is there.
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the comedy of that, but I've thoroughly enjoyed all the Marvel films, but I really hanker back for the older Marvel films, because they all seemed very good in themselves, whereas all of the new films have been really good, but you could tell that they were all of a much of a production line.
Yeah.
Yes.
They and it was just one after another, and I really got into the Marvel series and things where some of the smaller characters were getting into place, the Luke Cage and the Iron Fist and things like that. So there we are. I've just gone completely off piste. And
That's all good.
I was a bit afraid that you were going to mention a character that I haven't heard from, and probably thought I wasn't born before then. No, I'm joking.
Well,
Dang.
I do that.
But hey, I'll let you know something. The you know, what is it called? The movie Green Book. You know that movie?
No. Oh,
one of the
yeah,
I've heard of it.
yeah.
one of the guys in there is actually playing Blade in the MCU.
Mahershala Ali.
All right.
They're bringing Blade back to the MCU, and
brilliant.
yeah. So I thought I'd let you know that's
Yeah.
actually pretty cool.
I
But yeah,
I love the Blade story. It's basically a guy whose whole world is shot by, basically he is a vampire or partial vampire, and he doesn't want to be, and he wants to try and do things good, and yet he's forced to do things bad, and he's a completely conflicted character, and I like characters with that sort of depth and that sort of angst, and it shows the world that we live in. It's we live in a really conflicted world, and I really like that in characters.
I agree.
No, that's awesome, man. So I thought I would share with you. Hayden, don't attack me, but my actual favorite MCU movie is First Avenger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love a good origin story, but the reason why I loved it so much is I actually could relate with Captain America, like the way that he was picked on, and growing up, that was me. Like I in primary school, when me being a little 5-year-old to 10-year-old from there, I was picked on beyond belief. It was hard, but growing up, I don't know, the maturity kicked in. Like I know when it came to Captain America, when he was given the super serum, there was times of temptation where he saw a woman and he kissed her, and then he still loved someone else, and he was still trying to find himself. And we all can relate with that, like with the maturity side of that, and and also, spoiler alert, at the end where the ship was going towards I think New York, but he actually crushed it into the ocean. The sacrifice everybody's lives, and yeah, I thought it was great way to set up the film for the future MCU movies. I absolutely loved it, but yeah, no, it was good. So my favorite hero in the film series, yeah, I would have to give it to Captain America. I love Captain America. Just I don't know. You can't really compare the two characters, but he's got such a Superman humbleness to him,
Yes.
if that makes sense. And growing up, I could relate with Superman really well. Yeah. I don't know just how humble he was, but Captain America has that humbleness to him. That's what I really respect. So yeah. So Hayden, who is your favorite character in the MCU, or any other characters that you like?
Well, I think so. Now I'm trying to make sure that the answer I gave you a couple weeks ago is the same one, because I'm pretty sure it's Spider-Man MCU, but sometimes it changes MCU for me though. Like it just just depending on the day, you know what I mean? Because like I see the MCU characters as different than comic book characters, just because sometimes they act differently than how they would. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure what I gave you, and correct me if I'm wrong, was Spider-Man. Is that what I told you?
I think it was. But look, worst case scenario, our wonderful director Larry. At the end, if he needs more photos, I'll email it to you.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's Spider-Man. If it wasn't, it was either Captain. Oh, now I don't know. Okay, it was. It was. It was. Wait a second. Okay, because so here's the problem. Okay, I have to rehearse my answers because I'm such a nerd that I can't just give a straight answer. So it's like when it comes to my favorite superhero, it's Spider-Man. But then I have a different MCU superhero. So it's like I'm trying to figure all this out. So I I either said Spider-Man, Iron Man, or Captain America. I like all of them. like I big fan. I love Tom Holland acting wise. We already talked all about Spider-Man last week, so I won't interrupt that. I agree completely, totally with Captain America, with everything you said, Phil. And then Iron Man, I really like Iron Man too because you get to see how he goes from being a narcissistic jerk, and in a way, he still continues to be in a way, but he continually learns that he's supposed to be laying his life down as a hero, and so it's like, and I just love his personality. Like he's one of the best written, most well written
Yeah.
characters in that whole series. But I also really like Winter Soldier too. So like I feel like I should stop talking, or else we're gonna have a whole like the photo album going on.
No, that's fine, man. No, that's awesome. All right, well, Steve the Wise. How about you?
What
Sorry,
you got, Steve? Captain Midnight.
um, I really like Vision, and I really like the Scarlet Witch, but I love them from the original Avengers comics, and I was really interested to see how they brought the interaction between those two into play, and
yeah,
it wasn't as good as I thought it could be, but they had so many characters in there at the end. By the time the Scarlet Witch came on, they could only give them little snippets. So that's there we are.
well, they're actually having a show release called WandaVision based on just Vision and Scarlet Witch
Are they?
coming out.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool!
yeah.
Yay!
Oh man, that's awesome. Dreams are coming true here.
Yeah. My heart. Boom, boom.
All right. So, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Um, yeah. My favorite hero in the heroes, I should say, in the MCU have always been once again Captain America, but I've also yeah, I really did quite enjoy Iron Man, but I did not like Iron Man 3. I didn't enjoy him in that. The movie just I gave a 2 out of 10. I just didn't enjoy. I kind of felt like if you put it this way, like the movie had like the main villain in it, and then you all of a sudden you find out that that main villain was a actor the whole time, and there was another villain that was controlling that guy. Anyway, it's just like if you're watching a Batman movie and you see the Joker, and then you end up finding out Joker was just an actor the whole time. And yeah, I absolutely did not like Iron Man 3, but I really did enjoy um, Iron Man 1. That was such a huge impact for me to watch. You know, it's like what you said, like Hayden, you know, had that cocky attitude, but you know, when he became a hero, he began to understand, you know, the sacrificial love for people, and you know, when he was in the desert, with terrorists holding him, and he met that guy that saved his life. I thought that was great. I quite enjoyed it. So it was awesome. So yeah, no, I absolutely cannot wait to see what the future holds with the MCU. But hey, so next question, this will be the last question to sum up for this video. What do you guys expect for the next Marvel movie? So any movie or even in the MCU, what do you want to see next? So Hayden, let's kick it off with you, mate.
Ooh. What I want to see, I don't think it will happen, but what I want to see is for the different characters and like their own series to kind of turn into their own thing instead of like I don't want it to be another like Infinity Saga. I would like it to be more like, oh, here's the Spider-Man movies, and they're self-contained, and like, yeah, you can have some Easter eggs, but you don't have to watch You don't have to watch Ant-Man to understand what's happening in Spider-Man. Like, and I think if we're talking about Spider-Man, I think there's so many good villains that we haven't seen on screen yet that could be used for Spider-Man that we need to hear. I'm super excited for Morbius, and I would love to see Morbius in a movie with Spider-Man, and I would love to see those types of dynamics. I would also love to see. I'm excited to see what they do with the TV show for the Winter Soldier and the Falcon. I think that'll be interesting. But I think it's really hard because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like love the big like space stuff. I like Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't like the big events and all that. Like I think it'd be cool to see the Silver Surfer, but it would be hard to do a Silver Surfer movie. I think he would have a really good TV show, but it's one of those things where I almost am like MCU fatigued. You know what I mean? Where it's almost like I miss the good old days when it was just Spider-Man and kind of like their own thing. And I think it'd be cool. And also too, like maybe bring some characters who we haven't seen yet on screen yet. Like maybe some lower characters who no one really, sees and stuff. And I would like to say that I'm excited for an MCU X-Men, but I'm afraid of what they're gonna do with it. Like I'm afraid it's gonna be just turned into. I'm afraid it's not gonna have the X-Men feel to it.
Just to quickly let you know, Marvel has approached Hugh Jackman again with this ridiculous amount of money to come back as Wolverine, I think, for 2 films. So it's rumored to have Fantastic Four versus X-Men. And so Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, did hint to say that, how Tony Stark sold his building in Spider-Man Homecoming? That is rumored to be the Fantastic Four's new building. So it's all a bit of a rumor at the moment, but just wait and see. But yeah, it's exciting. But hey, Steve the Wise.
Stop saying that.
Okay, all right.
I'd like to see. I agree with Hayden. I was by the end of the Marvel series of films, I was not getting jaded, but I was just getting to feel that there was too much sameness about the films, and I like the grit of the likes of Logan, and I like the grit of the Punisher film with Thomas Jane in it. I would love to see another Punisher movie with Thomas Jane in, but I'd like to see them do. I know that there's talk about them doing Moon Knight, and some of the other characters, like with Iron Fist in the series, they dragged out that series and never actually got to him wearing his costume and being Iron Fist, and there was no reason for it really. But I'd like to see things like Iron Man, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage coming together for different things, and getting back to some of the really old characters.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd arguably like to see them doing some really old Marvel characters and getting Dracula and the werewolf involved in things and what have you, because who doesn't love Dracula and the werewolf? It's
Dang, dude.
and they were
Yeah.
Marvel comics, and there were some tremendous stories, admittedly before you were born, but
Far beyond.
far beyond. You were back in the 70s, way back. But there are some cracking characters that Marvel had created, and they just seem to be pigeonholing themselves. And
Yeah.
and I think that they should branch out and do some adult films. I mean, I know they've done Deadpool, but there are a lot of adult characters, and there could be quite a few. Like Blade was bordering on adult.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
they tame him down, he's not going to have the same ferocity. And that's one of the things that I enjoyed. So that's my
Yeah.
two
No. Yeah. No. I totally agree with everything that you said, and I totally agree. But what I started to see now, because Disney Plus has come out and there's a lot more TV shows. We're getting Falcon and the Winter Soldier, about how Falcon is the new Captain America, and we're going to see WandaVision, and we're going to see a new She-Hulk TV series with the MCU Hulk in that. So I think Marvel Studios has thought about it, and they're starting to see, okay, we need to branch out a little bit, keep it connected, but not too much, but for people to somewhat understand. And so I think it's great that they've started to branch out a little bit, and yeah, just to make sure the confusion isn't there. So no, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. But one thing that I'm really want in the Marvel movies is to see Galactus to be the next big villain. I think when I was reading up on Galactus and when I read a few comic books about him, he can be such a good villain. And one thing I would want to see, because I know the WandaVision, because we know Vision died in the Avengers. This TV series WandaVision, I think it's about Scarlet Witch going a bit crazy, and she might turn out to be a villain, because she keeps picturing Vision in her mind, and that might cause a rip in space and time or something, and you can see Galactus come or something. I don't know. I just do picture something like that happening, and that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It would be great to see Galactus, but the Silver Surfer's got to be involved then.
Oh yeah.
And the thing about Galactus and the Silver Surfer, the Silver Surfer was the second guy that Galactus had commissioned to go out destroying worlds, and he commissioned other people after him. So there's a whole story there with a load of different characters, and they could go berserk on that. But
oh yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. But guys, this was an awesome chat with you. This has been so fun. I cannot wait to record the second video. How about you guys?
I'm ready. Had a lot
ready.
of fun with this one.
I was born ready.
Were you though?
Not really.
That's okay.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thanks for fan battle. Can't wait for you to catch up with this one. Next one. Sorry. Take care.
Boom, boom.
Bye.